Hey, how's it going? My name is Michael. I'm the chief marketer for a company called J&B Financial. We sell insurance here, and we deal in income tax planning and preparation products. I'm going to talk to you about commercial insurance because I got the idea that some of you guys are thinking about starting your own company. I'm going to shoot this real quick. I'm going to do a real fast disclaimer before I do so. I'm going to talk about 3 types of commercial business type insurance. There's more than 3 types. All right, we're going to talk about 3 ones. Right, we're going to talk about 3 different kinds right now. We'll come back and talk about the other kinds later. Okay? Commercial general liability. That is a policy that a lot of business owners have to have. It covers you. It protects your business and protects your clients. If somebody falls in your office and hurts themselves, you're liable for that. Okay? You can't be held liable for that. Your insurance will cover you for that. If you perform a job or a task outside your office, you need a certain amount of commercial liability in some cases, not only to get the job, but also protects you in case something happens with the work that you did. It's also important to note that before, in some cases, you can lease a building or continue to lease a building, the owner of the property will expect you to put in effect a commercial liability policy. Let's get to something called a business owner's policy, BOP for short. This is what I like to say it's a full coverage of a policy for business owners. So it's a little more complex than that. But really, really quick, a business owner's policy is going to cover your liability in the office. It's also going to cover some of your business property in some cases, from theft, vandalism, fire. Depends on how the policy is written. Depends on what your line of business is. You have to sit down with your insurance agent and go over this very, very carefully. You can't make assumptions with insurance. If it's not in writing, dollars are done. It's probably not covered in a lot of cases. So talk to your insurance agent. If you're working with our company, ask one of us or drop a comment below, and I can ask you questions in private, specifically based on your situation. I'm going to shoot you something called commercial auto. It has a lot of different aspects. We insure truck drivers, rigs, tractor trailers. We also insure smaller vehicles that carry cargo. What's really important to understand about this policy, it has multiple aspects to it. It's also important to understand that those multiple aspects are dictated by the type of freight, cargo you're carrying, whether it's hazardous, whether your freight broker wants you to have certain requirements as far as cargo coverage, which basically covers their interest in your business if you're carrying their cargo, their goods and supplies. A certain amount of liability, which should have higher liability limits because of the type of size of vehicles that you operate, and the fact you also weight it down with additional freight makes you basically more dangerous to be on the road, even operated properly. Not saying your company won't be responsible and diligent in conducting business, but accidents do happen. Okay, and that's why you have additional coverages to cover. And of course, there's coverages to cover your additional drivers. There's also coverage to carry additional, carry your interest in your particular vehicles and trailers, not just your truck, but also your trailer in some cases as well. We can talk about that in detail, case-by-case basis. Once you get past trucking and transportation businesses are also needs for commercial insurance. You can have a company vehicle or have somebody operating a company vehicle, and that vehicle needs to be insured. In most cases, to be on the road. Need to be properly insured, especially if some additional insurers are driving that vehicle. You don't want to have somebody in your vehicles that's not properly covered, because that could be a way for insurance companies to back out a claim. Okay, especially the person's high risk. And what I really want to stress what's really important for people, really important in business and in insurance in general, is to make sure you're covered correctly and make sure what you think is covered, what needs to be covered, is covered. And I say this before, I say it's correct, I say this all the time, because if you're conducting business in one way, any slight deviation how you conduct business could affect your coverages. In some cases, it can have your coverages nullified, or your coverages, or the companies back away from you. I guess that's the easier way of saying it, because you venture into a risk that might be very closely related to what you were doing before, but that slight deviation can make it a totally different type of business. And that's why that's why it's very important for people to sit down with the insurance agent and get these things discussed and worked out. You got more questions about commercial insurance, starting a business, or operating a business, just drop us a comment below, or send us a text message. I'll leave a number for you, or inbox us. Thank you very much for watching and listening. This is Mike.